What's going on, Star Citizen fans? It's your boy Raptor Spiritus, and I am back with another one. So today we got some pretty cool news for things that are upcoming, and there were some leaks for some of the new mission places that are coming out in Nyx. So let's just go ahead and jump into it and see what they got. So starting off, we're gonna go ahead and get to the monthly report. Hoorah! And of course, looking at this little picture right here, this is the space station in Nyx. I think it's that Rockbuster one they're talking about over at CitizenCon. Now, as you guys know me, I don't really go through all the AI content stuff. I don't mess with the AI things. And animation, I don't. They improved the Copian movements, which is cool. Art team for characters. February saw character art polishing assets for Alpha 4.7 alongside working through art debt in preparations for Starware. That is the first time I've heard Starware since CitizenCon 2 years ago. So I'm thoroughly excited for that. If it's in preparation, that hopefully means we're getting it this year, which you know what that means, guys. That means mixing of clothing and armor is coming. I'm super excited. So I know that they also had showed the Salamander gang, I think is what they're called, are there. And I think Starware has something to do with them, because I remember seeing they had two versions of the armor. One was like just a regular looking armor with the helmet / mask, and then there was another one with the same mask, but it had a cloak over it. So I'm almost willing to bet that that's part of the Starware that they were talking about, where it says that, you know, they're polishing those assets for Alpha 4.7, you know, alongside with working through art debt in preparation for Starware. So I'm pretty sure it's coming soon. Starware is going to be a game changer. Now, I will say, because you know me, there's a couple things that I harp on in this game, and one of them is the suit lockers. I really, really wish they would make this happen. Some of my org mates think that it's going to happen, I would say, like, after they do Starware, or I think it was the new inventory systems, what they were saying. I don't know. The short end of it is that really and truly, suit lockers on ships should have been done a while, or at least functional on some level a while ago. But that's just my opinion. You know, this is, I'm just a guppy out here in the great ocean of the verse. So that was just my opinion. But so it's good to see that Star Wars being mentioned, which and it seems like we're getting close to it. So I'm looking forward to that for sure. And it says the team also continued to work on new gang outfits and subscriber flare items. So of course we all know that the new gang is the Salamander gang. So I'm actually I'm a little interested in what they in those concept arts that we saw. So I'm digging it. I'm actually looking forward to it. I do believe they're actually supposed to be in 4.7, so we'll see what they look like when they drop. The concept art team explored new combat armors and prepared handoff sheets for upcoming mandates. So through some of the leaks, we had a couple of the new armor. So the heavy armor that you saw from CitizenCon 2 years ago when they were talking about Starware, that last heavy armor is we're supposed to be getting that, I believe, soon. So that whole package of special armors that they had during that Starware little platform during CitizenCon, that'll be the last one. So moving right along to my favorite portion, the ships. In the UK, the ships team completed the art phases for the Aegis Hammerhead Gold Standard, with the ship moving to downstream teams for closeout. They then moved on to a related ship, which is approaching white box. So there's a lot of speculation in this. A related ship to the Hammerhead. Are we getting a variant of the Hammerhead? Are we getting a Hammerhead sister ship that is like the Hammerhead but is not quite the Hammerhead? So we'll have to wait and see. I'm looking forward to finding out what that is. Moving right along, the Gattac Raylan passed its white box gate review and moved into gray box ahead of its planned release at Alien Week this year, with more artists joining the project to help build out assets for future Gattac ships. So they just said they are planning on expanding the Gattac ship line. So that's going to be awesome. I cannot wait to see what they're planning on doing with Gattac. So look forward to some new ships coming from the Gattac streamline, and the Rayland is going to be ready for Alien Week. So y'all go ahead and bust those wallets out. I'm a fan of the way the Gattac looks. However, again, as I always focus on the fact that I'm not a huge organization, I'm usually playing by myself or one other person with me at times. So I don't really fancy getting ships that require a lot of people to fly. The Gattac Raylan is a cargo ship, as you all know. From the concepts, it looks like it only had 2 manned turrets on one on either side, and then missiles. If the pilot can't control any of those weapons, those side guns, and only have missile control, for me that's gonna be kind of a downside, because that means you definitely cannot solo that ship. And as cool as it looks, I'm not sure if it's worth it for myself. Maybe worth it to a lot of people, but me personally, if I can't at least have control over some of the guns on the ship, it's definitely a kind of a turn off for me. So we'll see what happens. My opinion would definitely be, instead of the Raylan, I would go with the whole B. But everybody do what makes you happy. You know, you don't mind flying something with only missiles to control it. You know, that might be your thing. I mean, it definitely is a cool ship, so I can't wait to see it in action. And then we're moving on along. Work also continued on the Grey Cat UTV. I'm looking forward to that, which had freshly captured, entered, and exit animations. Oh god, excuse me. It's getting late over here, sorry. It's currently with downstream teams for completion, so it'll be ready soon. When it'll drop, who knows? Could be for Invictus, could be sometimes in a later patch for, you know, right before 4.8. I don't know. We'll see. Miss upcoming hauler, the Hull B, continued towards its Lot 0 gate review. Woo! Tech art is currently finalizing the highly intricate spindle deploy and retract animations. Again, this is something I'm looking forward to, because I'm a fan of the Hull series, but with the Hull B, unlike its concept, instead of being the normal T shape, they've changed it to where it's an X shape, and you still be able to land with the spindles out. So that's going to be a real game changer, which is why I'm a big fan of the Hull B a little bit more over the Gattac Raylan. So we'll have to see. I mean, I do believe their cargo capacity is somewhat close. I do believe it's within 100 SEU of each other. So I still personally just would prefer something I can definitely solo myself. Now, the juicy part, which is something most of you guys know I've been waiting for, because I bought it during concept. The Drake Ironclad, and then the Ironclad Assault and Command Module each passed their gray box gate reviews. The team then moved on to Lot 0 tasks, quickly progressing thanks to the time invested during white box on the modular kit. It's coming, guys. It's coming. Invictus, it's probably going to drop then, so in May, so look to see it around that time. If they were to bring it later, I would absolutely have a fit, but it's going to be Invictus, I'm sure. So again, open them wallets up, throw that money out. Hey, so 3 unannounced vehicles progressed too. The first is approaching its gray box gate review, while the second passed gray box following minor functionality requests from the director. Ooh, that sounds interesting. The third passed its white box review, though it is currently receiving tweaks to the layout before gray box. So we got 3 new ships or vehicles coming that are unannounced. So just a reminder, unannounced means that we've not heard about it. If it's anything that, either was in a concept or they spoke about before, it wouldn't be any of those. This is going to be 3 unannounced ships. So I'm super, super curious about that. In North America, an unannounced ship passes white. Oh my god! I'm so tired. Sorry. An unannounced ship passed its white box gate review with the team talking feedback regarding some of the interactions with elements in the rear half. So, it doesn't really, it could be anything. So there's that. Finally, the Drake Kraken had its white box review scheduled to early March after further concept time resolved areas that didn't hit current standards. The team also reviewed traversal through the ship. Following this, they removed and reduced the scale of some rooms that offered no benefit to the players, without compromising the scale of the interior hero rooms like engineering. The ship remains on track for its planned release next year. So we're not going to get the Kraken this year. It'll be next year. So there's that. And then community stuff. Most of the stuff I don't really care too much for. Narrative. Let's see. In February, the narrative team focused their efforts on Alpha 4.7, which will expand the content available in Nyx. This is probably that Rockbuster stuff I was talking about. The involved extensive work on the new locations, including QV Breaker Station, yeah, there it is, home of the Rock Cracker mission, and the People's Server Station. We saw a couple of those little previews or leaks before, which are new refueling centers operated by the People's Alliance. These new locations required signage. Sorry, I'm having a short moment. Signage and environmental storytelling, public address audio, and missions that will utilize the space. Simultaneously, the teams worked with design to craft dozens of additional new contracts to greatly expand the options that will be available to players in the system. Looking ahead, the team wrote scripts and completed and captured sessions for a variety of new NPCs. This work is related to an upcoming gameplay loop that will be released later this year and includes a new faction representative. Blech. The session also involved additional content for the Tactical Strike Group mission featured at the last year's CitizenCon. So you saw that's where they did the whole basically Star Wars Death Star situation, brought the shield down, went inside, blew it up from the inside, exited out as the explosion came. There's that. Narrative also wrote a script for a new story mission that will be an important step towards establishing pipeline needed for delivering the 1.0 main story content to players. Finally, the team have been developing a storyline that will be introduced in a future release that will see players face down an interesting new faction. So I'm curious, because I know the Salamander game's coming, so now there's a new faction as well. We'll have to wait and see. And I think I heard somewhere that in some of these the Rockbuster missions and some of those places you're supposed to be actually getting some FPS with Vandals. I think, maybe, who knows? But we'll have to wait and see. Now, some of the pictures from the, trying to say this right, for the Rockbuster were leaked. So all right, so these were some of the photos that we saw. Yep, there's that hole. We're supposed to break up that rock, and it's supposed to, once you complete the mission and activate everything, it's supposed to expose the inside so you can do mining. I think it looks really cool. This is actually a pretty cool station. Inside of it, platforms on the outside, just the basic layout of it. Storage depot, central core power, mining lasers. I tell you, our team does a really good job. Ooh, med beds. We're gonna need that. This is an elevator. So that's basically it. Nothing too crazy. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got today. I apologize for the yawning, guys. I'm tired. Again, I just got off work not so long ago, and I'm just struggling. I'm dragging. But as always, if you like my videos, please like, subscribe, and share my videos. It helps my channel grow. I do appreciate you guys, and of course, always the feedback from you when you leave comments. I always try to answer everybody because, of course, your questions and your comments do matter to me. You know, it helps me be a better content creator. So thank you again, guys. It's your boy, Raptor Spiritus. You guys stay safe out there, and I will see you in the verse.